going on, guys? Victor here with a brand new video yet again, obviously from the last one. But like I said, we're back in action this Saturday, UFC Fight Night Vegas, back in the Apex facility, and boy, do we have a main event ready for you guys. I'm talking about the main event of the evening, the bantamweight showdown, which has title implications on the line. I'm talking about Cody Garbrandt, 12-3 versus the 18-4 Rob Font. 18 of Rob Font's victories, actually 12 of the 18 of Rob Font's victories have been finishes. 8 by knockout, 4 by submissions, and 10 of Cody Garbrandt's 13 wins have been by TKO. So there is a guarantee that this is going to end in a finish. The full 5 rounds will not be needed whatsoever. I say this fight is most likely going to last 3 rounds max because these guys like to finish their opponents off. Both these guys are coming off of W's. Not just W's, but finishes. Cody Garbrandt knocked out Rafael Sansao, which was a KO of the year candidate, and Rob Font is basically coming off of a TKO victory against Marlon Moraes, who's a former title challenger in the first round. Cody Garbrandt obviously being the former UFC bantamweight champion of the world. His last 3 losses have been against TJ Dillashaw. Obviously, both of those were title fights. The fight that he lost when he lost his title, and then the rematch, and he did get knocked out against Pedro Munoz, who was basically one of the heaviest hitters in the UFC bantamweight division, if not the heaviest hitter, and definitely the hardest leg kicker that there is in that whole entire division, because Pedro Munoz is not the one to be messed with, especially if you're fighting him. So all of the 3 losses of Cody Garbrandt have been legit ones. They've been quality ones. Obviously, TJ Dillashaw was using EPO, but we don't know if he was using EPO during his fights with Cody Garbrandt. So it is what it is. And we've got Rob Font on the other side, who is a spectacular fighter. Both these guys are not to be messed with whatsoever inside of the octagon because they like to take care of business. And if there's one thing about Rob Font and Cody Garbrandt, those guys, they like to be active inside of the octagon. And I'm not talking about, fighting 3 to 4 times a year. They always keep a high-paced movement going on, high-paced energy. They like to keep busy with their strikes. They like to keep busy with their movement. And they're always scanning their environment no matter what, because both these guys are very, very smart individuals when it comes to the fight world, when it comes to the fighting overall. And Cody Garbrandt, the reason why he's been able to get so many finishes in his whole entire career is because of his experience. He used to be an amateur boxer. I believe that he did have dreams of becoming a professional one before eventually wanting to go the mixed martial arts route, and that's what he did. And his amateur boxing experience helped him out a lot, and it has helped him out so far during his career, which is why he has 10 wins by KO out of his 13 wins in total. And he's been able to KO a good amount of guys, and it's absolutely crazy. Obviously, when we think about one of the legends in the bantamweight division, we talk about Dominic Cruz, who's the individual that Cody Garbrandt stole the title from, or took the title from to be more formal. And it was an obliteration. He knocked down Dominic Cruz 3 times. We've never seen that before in Dominic Cruz's MMA career beforehand. We never saw anyone knock down Dominic Cruz that amount of times during a single fight. And it was Cody Garbrandt because he was able to implement a masterful fight plan that he had, and he was able to basically trick and confuse and just make Dominic Cruz commit to all these different mistakes. And he lost a little bit of that way when he fought against TJ Dillashaw those 2 times and Pedro Munoz. He wasn't making them commit the mistakes, but as soon as he fought Rafael Sansao and he moved his camp a little bit from Team Alpha Male all the way to New Jersey to work with Mark Henry, who is a renowned mixed martial arts coach, one of the best MMA coaches in the whole entire world. He's coached many people, Claudio Gadelia, he's coached Frankie Edgar, Edson Barbosa, Marlon Moraes, all these different guys, and now Cody Garbrandt, and has basically transformed Cody Garbrandt to be more of a patient individual, be a smarter individual inside of the octagon, commit less mistakes, and to make sure that his opponents are committing mistakes that he can be able to capitalize on and finish them. And that's what happened with Rafael Sansao. He was able to finish him with a KO of the year candidate. Rob Font, like I said, Rob Font, the last time he fought was against Marlon Moraes. He did catch himself in a little bit of a tricky situation and a guillotine, but he was able to get out of it, and he was able to rock Marlon Moraes and eventually finish him later on in that round, in that first round that had a little bit of everything inside of it. And if there's one thing that is basically underrated when it comes to both these individuals is that they're wrestling. Both these guys are pretty damn good wrestlers, especially Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt went to college for a little bit, wrestled D3, but he was being looked at by Division I schools. The only problem there was with Cody Garbrandt was his grades. If you don't have good grades, then you can't really make it to Division I unless you've got a pretty damn good coach that can be able to kind of work his way around the system and get you in there no matter what. Because there's a lot of people out there that have terrible grades getting these Division I colleges, especially people going into the NFL or NBA, even people going off to MLS that are playing soccer in college and things like that. All different athletes, all different types of sports, not just the MLB, the NBA or the NFL. It also happens with the MLB and all these different types of sports as well. But obviously, he was being looked at schools such as Ohio State and Rutgers and all these different types of schools that are very well known for the wrestling programs. Cody Garbrandt couldn't have gone to any of them, but he did have that roadblock. But, like I said, he's still a very good wrestler. He's able to utilize that wrestling against Dominic Cruz when he fought him for the UFC Bantamweight Championship of the World. And he basically negated all of Dominic Cruz's takedown attempts. And Cody Garbrandt isn't the type of individual that is known to have offensive wrestling. His wrestling is definitely more defensive. And if Rob Font is going to go in there and try to wrestle Cody Garbrandt, try to get him to the ground, then it's going to be a long night. And it's mostly going to be a Muay Thai / kickboxing fight for both these individuals, because I don't see anyone being taken down to the ground. The closest thing to that I'm going to see in this fight is a little bit of dirty boxing against the cage, because there will be a little bit of grappling, and these fighters will be against the cage. There will be some knees on the inside. There will be some inside elbows, and maybe there might be some foot stomps as well, depending on the trajectory of this fight. But both these guys are definitely going to field each other out, and then to the midpoint of the first round, I think it's just going to be guns swinging, guns blazing, because like I said, both these guys are well known for getting their opponents out very early within the first two rounds, and both these guys are going to fill each other out for maybe a minute or two before kind of figuring their movements out, scanning one another, and trying to go for the finish, whether it's going to be through a head kick, whether it's going to be through a strike. If I'm Rob Font, I'm looking at that TJ Dillashaw, both those TJ Dillashaw wins, and I'm looking for the head kick, how I can be able to utilize the head kick and make Cody Garbrandt kind of come towards my direction, set up the head kick and blast him with it, knock him down, and basically try to get that knockout. If I'm Cody Garbrandt, I'm going to try to basically trap Rob Font to the point where I can be able to sneak in that right or left hook, which is extremely fast, which is extremely accurate at the same time as well. But don't get me wrong, Cody Garbrandt does throw some leg kicks out there every once in a while as well, and he's very, very athletic, and he's just not that type of individual that you can overlook. He's very athletic, he's very fast, and he moves around very, very well, and his hand positions as well is absolutely beautiful. He gets that from his boxing record, his amateur boxing background. Rob Font, he's part of the New England cartel, so his main partner is, well, you guys already know who his main partner is. It's Calvin Kattar, who's one of the best featherweights in the world. Before he took that extremely hard beating by Max Holloway, I don't think Calvin Kattar was able to kind of train with Rob Font after that, because apparently he still hasn't been cleared to practice or fight or any of that because of the amount of damage that he sustained during that fight. So that is his main training partner. There are a couple other guys in the New England cartel and that whole New England region that can be able to help him with his training, but he does have some really good coaches. He has Tyson Chandler, who's I think, actually it's not Tyson Chandler, it's Tyson Cartier or something like that. That is the head coach of the New England cartel. He's a very good head coach, and he knows what he's doing. He's a former mixed martial artist turned head coach / manager, and he knows how to manage, and he will get Rob Font at his absolute peak. And when Rob Font is 100% healthy, he is one of the best in the world. So if you ask me who's going to win this fight, I say the experience factor is going to go with Rob Font because he has more experience in the octagon. He has more fights. He has more wins. He's faced more people within the division itself. And then you also had the former champion, Cody Garbrandt, who has committed mistakes in the past. The thing that really did Cody Garbrandt in was trying to go crazy, trying to go for the kill, swinging for the fences, which is what got him caught against TJ Dillashaw. It got him caught against Pedro Munoz. And all those fights were by TKO/KO. You can't swing for the fences because you're going to leave your chin exposed while both of your fists, both of your hands, both of your arms are busy. When both of your hands are busy, your chin is going to be exposed. Nothing is there to protect it. And while you have that forward motion going on, you're basically lunging yourself at your opponent. You can't really stop yourself while you're in that position. Your opponent's going to take advantage of it and basically knock you out. If I'm Rob Font, I'm looking at that opportunity. If he comes at me crazy, if he comes at me trying to get that knockout, if he's chilling against the cage with one hand grabbed, leans back, then I know that he's going to swing for the fences and try to catch me. I got to work the head movement. I got to work my body movement. I've got to evade and throw something back. I got to throw my counters because countering is what has done Cody Garbrandt countering punches have been what has done Cody Garbrandt in with the majority of his losses. His 3 losses have all been by KOs, least TKO, because of counter punches. So if I'm Rob Font, I'm looking at that. If you ask me who's going to win this fight, I say it's Cody Garbrandt, not just because he's a former champion, but it's because he's working with Mark Henry now. I love Team Alpha Male, but it's just not the same over there as it used to be. They used to have a lot of killers. They used to have a lot of great sparring partners for Cody Garbrandt, but it's not like that anymore, which is why he's basically having to move all the way across the country from Sacramento to Brick, New Jersey in order to train with a world-renowned Mark Henry, basically finish his striking, and also get in there and train with a lot of great individuals. Lance Palmer, who is the 2-time featherweight champion for the PFL, trains in New Jersey. You've got Frankie Edgar, who is the former lightweight and multiple-time featherweight contender of the UFC, is also there as well. You had Marlon Moraes that was in there, Edson Barbosa that was in there. So many different guys are in there right now training. It's absolutely crazy. So there's a lot of training partners for Cody Garbrandt, and I think he's taken advantage of it, and he's taken advantage of his mistakes that he's made in the past and become more of a mature individual. Because when he won the title, I believe he was about 25 years old, 25, 26, and Dominic Cruz was about 31 or 32, maybe even 33. So he was young when he won the title. He was young when he lost the title, but he's growing up. He's becoming more mature, and he's becoming a smarter fighter/individual. And I believe he's going to utilize all those things to his advantage to get this fight to his advantage and get the knockout at the end of the day, which is what he's always trying to do. I don't think you're ever going to see Cody Garbrandt get a submission in the UFC. The majority of his victories are going to be by KO/knockout, and some might be by decision. But if I'm Rob Font, I'm taking this to the ground. I'm going to try my absolute best because he's not going to win in the striking exchanges, even though he does have a lot of power in his hands. But someone's going to go to sleep. Someone's going to go to sleep. It's either Cody Garbrandt or Rob Font, and I'm picking Rob Font to go to sleep. I'm picking Cody Garbrandt to get this victory, and I believe this knockout is going to happen in the second round. We're not going to need the full 5 rounds because there is going to be a finish. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like I said, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to post any videos in a while. I hope I haven't gotten any of you guys pissed off. Comment down in the comments section, what do you guys think about this fight? And who do you think is going to win, and by what method? What round is this going to happen? Is it going to take the full 5 rounds, or is this going to end in rounds 1 to 3? And who do you guys think is going? Well, for the winner of who you guys think is going to win, who do you think is going to face after? So obviously, if Rob Font wins, who is he going to face after? Is he going to get a title shot or not? Is if Cody Garbrandt wins, is he going to need another fight before another title shot? So just let me know down in the comments section. Also, let me know how I do. If I do bad, if I make a mistake, just let me know. I appreciate the comments. If they're bad or good, it makes me into a better YouTuber at the end of the day, or just a person that makes videos. I don't consider myself to be a YouTuber, but like I said, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. You guys stay blessed. You guys stay blessed. Have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your weekend as well, because I might make another video as well tomorrow. So later, guys.